Have you ever had a boss who just loves the spotlight? Mine was the king of it. Every single idea I brought up in a meeting, he'd just repeat it, but louder, and suddenly it was his brilliant insight. All those late nights I spent grinding away at my desk, he'd tell everyone about his dedication and the long hours he was putting in. It was exhausting, and for months I just took it. I told myself to keep my head down, do the work, and hope someone would eventually notice. But hope isn't a strategy, is it? One day, I just stopped hoping. I decided to act. The opportunity came disguised as our company's most important client presentation of the year. The pressure was on, and the project landed squarely on my desk. I poured my heart and soul into it. I'm talking weeks of research, designing every slide to perfection, and triple-checking every single number. This presentation was my masterpiece. The night before the big meeting, my boss, right on cue, asked for the file to review. This was his classic move, the final step before he'd present it as his own. But this time, I was ready. Instead of the polished, perfect deck I had just finished, I sent him a different version, a draft. I called it. This draft was a beautiful disaster. It was packed with placeholder text, charts that made no sense, and more typos than a first grader's diary. He didn't even open it. The next morning, he strode into that boardroom with all the confidence in the world. He plugged in his USB. The fake presentation flashed onto the giant screen, and he began presenting my garbage draft word for word. The clients' faces went from polite smiles to pure confusion. Wait, one of them interrupted. Your revenue projections on this slide are half of what they were on the last one. These numbers don't add up. My boss froze. He started stammering, flipping through the slides, completely lost. He had no clue what the real data was because he'd never actually done the work. That was my cue. I walked in holding a folder and smiled warmly at the clients. My sincerest apologies for the confusion, I said calmly. There seems to have been a mix-up with the drafts. Here is the actual presentation I've been working on. I handed out crisp, perfect copies. The relief in the room was instant. The clients were impressed with the real deck. My boss was utterly silent. And you know what? He never, ever tried to steal my work again. Sometimes you have to create your own spotlight. Thanks for listening to my story. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. See you next time.